Peyton Manning, the Broncos get underway next Thursday on NBC as they host the Ravens. I'm going to bring in the whole crew there, Peyton. I got Rodney and Tony. Bob's going to be in, of course, Chris and Al. Where should we go to dinner in Denver?
It's hard to say. I mean, in my my former team, Indianapolis Colts, I'd have you at St. Elmo's Steakhouse in a heartbeat. I'm still learning Denver Broncos. Always couldn't steer you wrong downtown. Had a good meal down there. There's a good little Italian place down there called Venice. It's a good spot. I'm still learning the territory myself. You probably couldn't go wrong with either of those two spots.
Can you go out in Denver?
I like to go to dinner. I go to the same restaurants a lot. You kind of know the people there. They'll tuck you in a corner a little bit, and growing up in New Orleans, you got to appreciate good restaurants and good food. So you just got to find a few spots to kind of know the drill.
If I said to you 10 years ago, you and Eli will combine for 3 Super Bowl victories, or you will be in a rap video featuring your father. So which one would you have believed if I said that 10 years ago?
The Super Bowls. The rap video has been a complete sellout on both me and my brother's part. We have sold our souls. When DirecTV pitched the idea, believe me, it took us a long time to look at it and just kind of, I don't know. I just don't know. And, all of a sudden it's kind of going on, and then all of a sudden you just say, all right, let's go for it. Let's do it. It's kind of like 4th and 1, going deep. You can't go in half speed. You got to go in full speed. And once we got there, Dan, I think putting on the outfits, putting on the wig. Eli had the Justin Timberlake look. I looked like the lead singer of the Cars. Once you kind of get into a different character, you can kind of feel like somebody else and not yourself, and kind of just go forward and try to have some fun doing it. It was a catchy song. All my teammates are always still singing "Football on Your Phone." A lot of the fans in the stands, I can hear them. And so it's been a fun locker room talk for us.
How much of what you do on the field, though, is about entertaining, about being an entertainer?
Well, I don't. I've never looked at that as far as that's my job. I mean, my job as a quarterback is trying to produce, trying to do my job. A quarterback naturally has to be on top of other people's assignments, to be able to help them out, to know what they're supposed to do so you can do your job. And I understand football, though, is entertaining for a number of football fans. I mean, football is the greatest game, and the following and the excitement for opening day. The fantasy football has increased the attention to games more in years past than it was when I first got into the NFL. So it is entertaining, and but for us, it's work. It is our job, yet it is fun. It's a very gratifying job because you get to go out and still play a game.
He's Peyton Manning, the Broncos quarterback, joining us courtesy of DirecTV, joining us at the Dan Patrick Show. How did you feel seeing the billboard with Joe Flacco there in town?
Haven't seen it. I've heard through the grapevine there's some Denver Broncos fans that are fired up. And, hey, anything that gets them more fired up to be a little louder next Thursday, I'm in favor of it. So I have not seen it and won't pay a lot of attention to it. I don't need any billboard, or I don't think any players need a billboard to be fired up for opening night of the NFL season. Dan, it is the closest thing to a playoff game, in my opinion, in the regular season opening night all around the NFL. But to play the first game of the season, players are excited. It's going to be 2 good teams playing, and everybody wants to get started off on the right foot. And just glad that football's here. Training camp ends, football's closer, and I get to talk to you about NFL Sunday Ticket, DirecTV. Football's getting really close.
You ever played a game angry?
Yeah, I probably can't say it's never come up during the course of a game. My dad used to have an old saying, and somebody gave it to him, talked about getting back to zero. So I think when you do get angry after a 3 and out, or a bad throw, or just a bad series, you're angry, right coming off the field. I think as soon as you get to that sideline and go sit over there, you better erase it from your mind and kind of get back to zero, start all over. They always said Joe Montana had the greatest success percentage of successful touchdown drives after an interception. I don't think Joe was happy after an interception, but he obviously moved on from it very quickly, got back to zero, went out the next series and got a touchdown. So that's what all quarterbacks strive to do. But there's definitely lots of different emotions that come up during the course of the game. Like you said, though, it's about controlling them.
Eli told me last week that he wants to play long enough that his girls can see him play. How long do you want to play?
I want to play as long as I can still be productive, as long as I still enjoy it. I don't have a set number of years that I feel like I have to play or want to play. There's no target goal in mind. I think when you certainly are my age and coming off a major injury where just didn't quite know what the future held. I mean, just all the medical meetings I have with doctors, you got different types of answers, and with no real timetable. So this past season was very gratifying for me to get back out onto the field, and I didn't need a year off, Dan, to remind me how much I enjoy football and how much I love the game and the camaraderie in the locker room and the huddle. But when you are out for a year, you certainly do miss those things, and so to get back onto the field was very gratifying, and glad to have a chance to go out there again this season. So I'm kind of 1 year at a time, just trying to, the old cliche, just trying to be the best player I can be, in 2013, and we'll kind of take it 1 year at a time from here.
Can you have a successful season and not go to the Super Bowl?
Well, I don't, I guess there's different ways of answering that, different opinions. Certainly it's disappointing when you don't. I think, sometimes the easy thing is to win that last game of the regular season. You finish 8-8, and you're in that locker room, and you're high-fiving. Everybody feels good. The head coach is fired up. Great game, great win. We stunk most of the season, but we did win our last one, and now we're 8-8, and you don't feel as much of a sting. Yet you have a great regular season. You play your butt off in a playoff game, and you lose on a close play, or lose in overtime, or lose on a last-minute field goal, whatever it is, and it absolutely rips your guts out. Which one would you rather have? I'd rather have my guts ripped out, because that means I'm knocking on the door. That means I'm in the arena. That means I'm closer. Certainly when you win the last game of the entire season, like when we won the Super Bowl against Chicago, when the Ravens did last year, that's the ultimate feeling. That's what you play for every single year. If you can't be that team, I'd rather be knocking on the door. I'd rather be closer than far removed, far away from it. And when you sign up to play in the NFL, you sign up because you want that satisfying feeling. You have to know that you might get a disappointing feeling. Can you handle it? Can you come back the next year and try to get it the following season? Not everybody can handle it. That's part of playing in the NFL, in my opinion. Good
to visit with you. I'll see you Thursday night in Denver. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dan, thanks for having me.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.